What's up, guys? It's Mark with Limo Marketer. So, how do you target events on Google and Bing ads? I'm sure if you're an operator, you've probably asked yourself this question if you're running a pay-per-click campaign or you're having one ran for you. And the easiest answer is you can't really target them that well. So, why am I making this video? Well, I get this question a lot, which is why I make most of my videos. The most recent question I got was from an operator out of New Orleans. He said, Mark, we have Essence Fest coming up and I want all of our vehicles to be there. Also, a few months ago, it's May now, but Coachella goes on late April or I think mid-April, and several operators I work with out of Southern California, they wanted to be busy with Coachella work. And so here's why I say it can work, but not that well. If it's a big enough event, you can target it. For instance, Coachella, there's, I think, 500,000 people almost that go there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but with that one, there was adequate search volume. So that's the first thing you need to have if you want to target events. They have to be really, really large events with enough people at them. What that number is, I'm not 100% sure, but I can tell you right now, Coachella was possible, but it can be difficult to do. Typically, the way we target for events is we'll either target, and usually we do both because I don't always know what people are going to be searching for. Either we target for the location of the event or the event name. And many times we'll do both because I won't be sure exactly what people will be searching for. A perfect example of this was Coachella. So most people actually do search Coachella transportation, Coachella shuttle, which I'll go into why those can be not so great. But other events, people are searching maybe not for the event, but for the venue. It really just depends on, how popular the venue is. Do most people know the name of that venue, or is the event name more popular? If it's someone local, they might be searching for the venue name. If it's someone who is just going to the event, they might just be searching for the event name. So what I recommend doing for event targeting is creating its own campaign, because the first thing that a lot of people don't realize when they do Google Ads is the structure, how you structure the campaigns and ad groups. If you already have a campaign running and you add ad groups to that campaign, what often happens is they just don't get as much volume or traction as your ad groups that have been running for a long time, that are getting most of the clicks and leads. And so if you create a new ad group within your campaign, it won't get much love. And so that's why I recommend do a separate campaign, because on Google Ads, you have your account, a Google Ad account. That's like the top structure. Well, technically that's the top structure would be the MCC level. That's what agencies have, where you can have lots of accounts. But the top structure, if you just have an individual account, is the account level. And then you have the campaign level. So the campaign level is where your budget lives, your location targeting, things like that. But for this, the most important thing really is your budget. If you want to get as much from an event as possible, you want to give that its own campaign. And oftentimes I recommend even giving it its own landing page if it's going to have enough search volume, because when they land on the page, you want to reference that event, maybe even the venue as well. So definitely create its own campaign. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use a keyword in combination with let's just say venue name, and then a keyword plus the event name. And so what I mean by keyword, okay, that might be car service. I won't write these all out. Car service, limo service, shuttle, transportation. These are all different variants you can try, even like a bus. These can all work, and I typically recommend using all of them. Now, what Google has done lately is they've made targeting a lot tougher to be precise about. And what I mean by that is, let's say you have the keyword Coachella transportation, but someone searches Coachella shuttle bus. Well, your ad is likely going to still show. And that's what I noticed. And that's what I do oftentimes is I'll just use a more general keyword like the event name and transportation. And this will be kind of like my research keyword. So let me give you an example of this. I'll do something like, and remember guys, when we're doing our keywords, you always, always, always want to have either quotes around them or brackets around them, because if you don't, you will get a lot of junk. So let's just say my research keyword here is Coachella transportation. I'll just do trans for short. And so once I run with this keyword for a little while, let's say, a day or 2 days with, let's say, a $20 a day budget behind it, you can go into your search queries, your search term report, and you can see what people have actually been searching. And the nice thing about more broad type keywords like transportation is a lot of searches like shuttle, car service, limo service. It just gives you a feeling for what people are actually searching for. Now, 5 years ago, it didn't work like this. If you had a keyword like this, it would only be showing up for Coachella transportation. But now they've broadened the number of searches these different match types will show for. And so now you can use these match types and just do kind of a broader type keyword. Now, once you find, what's working, and you do this by having conversion tracking set up, that's when you can tell what somebody searched before they clicked on your ad and either landed on your page and called you, or maybe they filled out a form, maybe they even booked online. And that's really valuable data to have, because over time, you get to see, okay, so 80% of the time people are searching Coachella car service or something when they're calling us, or when they're filling out a lead form, which is really good data to have, because then eventually you can, through a combination of the right match types and negative keyword, block out all of the other junk. Because what I found out was happening, and this is what I wanted to get back to, is a lot of people were searching things like Coachella shuttle service or Coachella shuttle, and come to find out, a lot of them, so the event many times will have a shuttle. And so a lot of the people were actually just looking for the event shuttle, and not necessarily looking for some third-party vendor. And so this will happen a lot as well. So you have to be very careful and watch these campaigns closely, because it's very easy to overspend on something that's very similar, but not exactly, or someone searching for, like I said, an actual event shuttle that's provided by the event, and not necessarily looking for a third-party vendor. And so this is a great example of people searching for the event name plus a keyword. Which, by the way, this is a keyword. When I'm saying keyword, I'm just in this circumstance, I'm just referring to like car service, limo service, shuttle service, transportation. There's a lot of other variations, and some of them work in some markets and some not so well in others. Now, the venue name is also, a common thing. Now, this venue, I believe it's in India. So I should say venue, location, or venue, event name, and possibly location. Sometimes if it's a specific location, and look, you guys that live near these events, you probably will have a good idea of what people are searching for. Now in Coachella, it's in Indio, but no one's really searching for like car service to Indio, or limo service to Indio, or something like that. They're pretty much all searching the event name, but in some situations, they very well could be searching for the location. So it really just depends, guys. But overall, what I have found is, even after having done all of this, created its own campaign, created its own landing page, many times you still won't get that much search volume or that many leads, right? Because really it all comes down to how much search volume something gets. Now, having said that, like, one of these Coachella leads, it could be, I had a client rent a bus out for several days, right? So it was like a $10,000 job, and off of one lead. So it totally can be worth it. And I would suggest, if you have a big enough event in your area, giving this a try. The nice thing is, usually they're yearly events, so you only have to set it up once, and then, if it works, great, replay it each year. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But definitely have its own campaign with its own budget. Do a landing page. It doesn't have to be that different of a landing page. I just really suggest having the event name, the venue name on the landing page, so that people know, hey, look, you're in the right place. This is what we do. And that's pretty much it, guys. So this isn't a way I get many of my leads from my clients, and I get lots of people, lots of clients calling me saying, hey, there's this event in this area, and why are none of my cars at it? And the truth is, I wish I could target events better, because even after doing all this, I'm not saying you're going to be super booked up for whatever the event is. I mean, Facebook and Instagram is probably actually better for targeting this type of stuff, because you can target people that are actually going to the event or have liked the event or things like that. But don't expect a ton of leads from this. It reminds me of a story. A client recently, the Indy 500 is going on, and he said, I just want more Indy 500 business. And another thing I find oftentimes is that a client will be hitting their budget. So they'll be spending, like, let's say $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month. And then they'll say, I want more leads for this event. And you have to ask yourself, so is there a reason for that? Are these leads going to be more valuable? And they very well might be. Like that example of the Coachella thing. Um, a lot of people are flying into LAX going to Coachella. I think that's like a 3 or 4 hour drive. So those could be a lot more valuable. But if it's a local event in the area, that's only like, 30 minutes away from the airport or something, or if it's not something people fly into, you really always just have to be asking yourself, all right, do I want to get booked from this event just because the event's going on and I want to be seen at the event? Or does it actually really make sense financially? Could these leads be of higher value? And so these are always things it's a good idea to ask yourself. So anyways, thank you for watching, guys. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you on the next video.